Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play. But it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and take pants last from the kickoff to the final whistle blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques. Just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise the road from sideline jokes to post-match tales. All big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join us, sporty crew.
Yes, Western Water Sports Ahoy crew. How is everybody doing? It is State of Origin decider time, and I hope that everybody is as excited as we are here, ready to bring you all the action live on the Wasted World of Sports. Heel Fries, ahoy mates, how are you? Raven 187, ahoy there. Blake, up the Blues. Gamer Mel, ahoy. Bobby, ahoy mate. How's everybody doing over there on YouTube, over there on the TikTok, and of course over on Twitch? Joined once again, as always, for State of Origin time here in studio with the Old Panther. Old Panther, how are we doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good. Nervous, but pretty good. Looking forward to this and your call of the game.
Nervous, you say?
Yeah, I obviously my heart's with New South Wales, and I reckon they can do it, but I'm a bit worried. I think New South Wales will have to score every try under the posts, give themselves a fair chance tonight.
You don't think they've been practicing?
Well, I would have felt much better if Nathan Cleary was fully fit and he was doing the kicking. I'm afraid I don't have confidence in Lomax.
Right.
But anyway,
even though he's proven capable in the past.
well, yeah, maybe he has been, but I am not confident.
Not in this series. He hasn't delivered yet in this series.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm just not confident about the kicking.
Fair enough.
I'm quite happy to be proven wrong.
Yep. Well, we shall see. New South Wales couldn't convert at cash converters, says Raven 187. Now, we also have, of course, joining us for State of Origin tonight. Now, she's on TikTok, but as always, it's either one or the other working. They can't just both work at the same time all at once, can they? Michelle is here with us. Trust me, she is actually there.
Hi.
There you go. See,
Why?
even if you can't see her
Hi.
on YouTube right now, she is there.
I still can't access my TikTok whilst I'm doing the video. So, actually, I might be able to. Let's have a look.
Yeah, TikTok's all good. Gamer Mel doing
No,
very well,
I-
thank you. Very, very
My
excited for this one.
It didn't want to work.
Daniel on TikTok wants to know, what about Shibasaki try scoring? Don't know about try scoring, but I mean, it is actually plausible because is Shibasaki playing on the left edge? If Shibasaki's playing on the left edge, we know that Queensland traditionally do a fair bit of damage with their left centre, so it's always plausible. Unfortunately for me, I don't have to limit myself to 4 try scoring options, but any more than 4 is quite crazy. So, but I did consider him. I considered Xavier Coates as well. But as always, when I'm piecing together a same game multi, I pick the 4 that are going to bring me the best value, not necessarily the 4 that stand the best chance, if that makes sense. They're obviously all a chance of scoring. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have them in there if they were no chance. But obviously, Jeremiah Nanai, for example. Jeremiah Nanai's obviously thrown in there as somebody who's more than capable of scoring a try. But if he does, in fact, start off the interchange bench, that limits his opportunity. So it boosts the value, but there is a very real probability that he gets it done. So, am I making any sense?
Yeah, you are.
That's good. That's good. Sweet pea, ahoy, mates. So, Panther, well, I sort this little technical dilemma out. Do you have your statistics sheet there for us?
I have some stats that somebody might be interested in. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Rightio. Well, I've gone back over the last 10 years to check a few things out. And, New South Wales, well, actually, I've gone back beyond 10 years. I tell a lie. New South Wales have won only 2 deciders at Accor Stadium. That's in 2004 and 2019. In the last 10 years, Game 3 deciders, there's only been 1 in Sydney. How's that? And that was won by New South Wales back in 2019. Last year, New South Wales won the decider at Suncorp. Now, as far as deciders go, Queensland have won 4 of 6 deciders overall in the last 10 years. And they've won 6 of 10 Game 3s in the last 10 years. So those stats are looking pretty good for Queensland. Now, only 3 times in the last 10 years has Game 3 been in Sydney. 2016, 2023, but both of those were dead rubbers. And 2019 was the other one that was actually a decider, and New South Wales won that. So there you go. That's the stats that I found. But now, as far as Penrith goes, Isaiah Yeo has the opportunity tonight. If he lifts the State of Origin shield, he will be only the 4th New South Wales captain to do so at Accor Stadium. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Brad Fittler won in 2000. Danny Budiris in 2004 and Boyd Cordner in 2019. So Isaiah Yeo would be only the 4th New South Wales captain to raise the shield at Accor Stadium. And as far as games go in Sydney, they're split 5 each. So the stats in that, when you look at them that way, it looks towards Queensland.
Oh, why do you do this to me, old Panther?
That is not the news Michelle wanted.
But I'm going to faint over here. Goodness me.
Now, here's a question for everybody, for the chat room, and for everybody. I made this comment to the old Panther when we were having a chat over dinner. I said, just doesn't, whether it's got to do with the fact that we do the streaming now, I do the hosting, it doesn't feel like Origin anymore. The hype isn't there. That used to be so prevalent. I mean, it was like, it's Origin week, and I'd be getting pumped up even if I didn't necessarily follow the sport. It's just been a really, really tame build-up for all three games. I mean, this is a decider. Where's all the hype? Where's all the energy? It's just not there anymore.
I agree. I've said that at game one. Like, there's no, where's the hype? Where's the, you know, and you know what I'm like? I'm messaging you 3 months prior, being like, oh my God, I'm so nervous about Origin.
And you have your, and you would have your, you'd have your party organised a couple of months out.
Oh, yeah, my party organised, my New South Wales only party with the 1 or 2 token Queenslanders. But, you know, we don't do that anymore because we do this. But maybe that's why. Maybe because I don't have a party every game. Maybe that's why we
It probably contributed to it.
Feel the hype so much. So, but no, honestly, I don't know what it's like in Sydney. I mean, heel fries, you reckon there's no Origin excitement? Like, obviously, I'm seeing the ads on TV, and we're seeing the ads when we're doing the games, you know, the regular season games. But it just doesn't seem like, yeah, it just doesn't, it just seems very, maybe we're getting older. Maybe we're actually caring less. That's what I'm trying to tell myself anyway. That's what I'm trying to tell my blood pressure. So maybe I am caring less.
Yeah, it certainly has been bizarre, but maybe when the kickoff happens and the game actually gets going.
Like, I just I'm nervous now. Like, I've got the whole, now that we're set up, and
I know exactly what you're like. So I've already beefed up the audio filters in preparation for tonight. The audio filters are ready to go.
That I yell as loud as possible. So, and I'm banished right down to the other end of the house, behind closed doors, and my deaf as opposed father won't be able to hear anything.
There we go.
But the neighbours might.
Zoe, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. Let's get to some chat room stuff. We've got Cobra Kai says go New South Wales. Billy says New South Wales 18 plus. Boy, that's an ambitious. I'm sure we would love that, but that's a very ambitious call. I was actually saying to one of my mates on Facebook earlier, I'm feeling Golden Point.
Actually, can I just interrupt for 2 seconds? For anybody who hasn't got their tips in for this coming weekend, remember, tonight's game is part of this coming weekend's round of tipping. So if you haven't done your footy tips and you're in the Wasted World of Sports comp, of course you want to get it in there. So make sure you get your footy tips in right now.
Did you end up putting your tip in, Old Panther?
No.
No?
Won't make much difference to me. I think I'm in the bottom half of the tipping comp now.
Boston Brown says New South Wales 24, Queensland 12.
Have you seen how far ahead of Dan I am on the tipping comp, Old Panther?
Queensland 24 plus. Up the Blues, we're going to win, says Barnsey. Gideon Lau says refs to the rescue for Queensland. 8-0 count. What a facade.
Yeah, well, we've got our least favourite reffing, don't we?
It won't be as bad in the decider. Definitely
Can I
not.
just also say, because, you know, many people think I'm Satan, but it is tragic news for Munster there. So as someone who's lost a parent young, I can absolutely commiserate. And I do feel like that's going to be an added thing for him tonight. He's going to be very heightened, wanting to, you know, bring it home for his dad. So, see?
Munster.
Everyone thinks I am.
Munster has motivation now, says Dylan.
I mean, it could completely motivate him, or he could overplay it because he's trying too hard.
Could be too emotional.
Let's hope it's the latter.
Well, I said something earlier. I said, I wonder, and it's a legitimate question. This is in no way having a dig. This is in no way criticism whatsoever. This is a legitimate question. I just wonder, if Cameron Munster tonight, just instinctively, in the referee's mind, does he get away with a little bit more in this game?
Now you've gone and said it.
Does he get away with a little bit more niggle and because at the end of the day, they're all human beings out there. There's Ashley Klein is a human being, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes. In the back of his mind, will he just be like, "Oh, I don't want to be too harsh on camera tonight"? There's that human aspect to it as well. Will he get away with a little bit more? Is what I'm curious.
Mm.
For those wondering, kickoff is 11 minutes away, or roughly.
He's Cameron Munster. Now, are you live on Facebook?
No.
Okay. I had Facebook open because I thought you were going to be live on Facebook, but I don't need it open.
Arnold Sariri says first try, the hammer, 12-0, Maroons win. Barnesy says, I think it will be a good game if the ref is fair to both teams.
I just saw someone in the TikTok chat says Queensland to lose by 30. I like that.
Oy, that's ambitious. What do we have as a score prediction? Score prediction, obviously we're all going for New South Wales, but I'm actually, prediction-wise, I don't know. I can't shake this feeling of Golden Point tonight. I reckon Queensland and Golden Point.
Well, you did call it about the game on Sunday.
I did.
But that's only because we bailed on streaming. Which, by the way, apologies to anybody who was waiting for a Sunday stream, but Dan was wrecked. And, well, I'm not lying when I said I was quietly glad when he pulled the pin.
Yes, and I'm sorry, but the rugby union was far more important this past weekend gone. Far more important.
Yeah, that was on Saturday. That is,
Well, it was all weekend.
You didn't have to stay up late after it.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I was covering the Springboks game.
Sunday.
I was covering the Springboks game at 1 a.m. Sunday morning.
Okay. All right.
So I did have to stay up late after it. Anyway, score prediction, match prediction.
My score prediction?
Yes.
28-16 to New South Wales.
Right. Old Panther?
Well, if I must, 20 points to 18, New South Wales.
Hmm.
Can I put a disclaimer in?
Yeah. What's
It
the
all
disclaimer?
depends on our first 20 minutes.
Barnesy says, I think it will be around 26-12 that the Blues way. Big Peds Media, Mitchell 2 tries, New South Wales to beat Maroons 14+.
How do our Queenslanders in the chat room feel about Papali'i being called back up again? Do you feel like that's an exceptionally desperate move by Slater? Or, like lining up the old bat signal? Or is it a stroke of genius?
We'll find out in about half an hour's time.
Predicted. I'm not asking him to wait to find out. I'm asking for a prediction.
That is the prediction. We'll know in about 30 minutes' time when he comes off the field after his initial spell.
Ref Briz Brown on TikTok. Yes, several of our multis get up, actually, on a regular basis. Gamble responsibly. We take no responsibility for your gambling actions. We're just like gambling with mates. We're not giving you any tips on, who you should or shouldn't gamble on. That's it. That's our gambling disclaimer right there.
Big Papa straight up the middle, says Bobby on YouTube. And Nene on TikTok says Papa will score. So there you go.
Heel fries, not happy about Papa coming back, eh? You think it's a bit cheaty? Did I say cheaty? A bit of a cheating move. It's just my English just escapes me as I'm about to watch Origin and I just babble. More so than usual.
We are 7 minutes away from 8 p.m.
I'm going to try not to heel fries because then the stream gets, and then we'll probably get banned on TikTok and we just don't have time for that.
Yeah, no F bombs. Definitely not any C bangers.
You saw enough bangers last night.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
Viking X says New South Wales 18, Queensland 40.
Get out.
Andy Andrews says Stephen Crichton will definitely score. Yeah, look, I think Robert Toya and Shibasaki are both big bodies, right? They've obviously been brought in to try and contain Stephen Crichton because Stephen Crichton was having a field day out on the edges in game one. And sort of, yeah, so I think if they focus too much on Stephen Crichton, that opens up opportunities for Latrell Mitchell, hence why I've put him in my multi tonight. I think there'll be a lot of 2-on-1s on Stephen Crichton, and that'll just open up Latrell Mitchell a bit tonight. Gina Ferracini, ahoy!
Gina, ahoy!
Shibasaki to score on debut.
Yeah, look.
Did you say, hey, speaking of Shibasaki, have you seen that mock-up team photo that of Queensland, and they all have the Shibasaki goatee?
Speaking of Shibasaki, have you seen every single meme that's been on Facebook the last week?
No.
Yes, I have seen that one.
Moronic douchebaggery says, hope New South Wales do it tonight, but I feel Munster will have the game of his life.
Look, the pressure could get to Munster. He could absolutely bite it.
Odd Poppet says Latrell is the Don. Not that I'm biased as a Bunny supporter. Yeah, no bias at all there, Odd Poppet.
No, I'm off Latrell. Bugger him. I've called him for game of the match the first 2 games, and he's played like utter ass. So I'm off Latrell. Stuff him.
I think he gets opportunities tonight. As I said, there'll be a lot of defensive focus on Stephen Crichton.
Nah, stuff him.
Opportunity is there for Latrell tonight. Mainstream driver Auckland is a Bunny supporter as well. There you go.
I don't think one bottle of booze is enough.
Marley Prime says, why is Nico Hines not playing? They will lose without him. That's obviously tongue-in-cheek. It has to be tongue-in-cheek.
Come on, Marley. Oh, crap.
Or are you a Queensland supporter? Asking that. Are you suggesting Queensland will lose without Nico Hines playing for the Blues?
Game of Mel, if you were sitting on my couch right now, you would absolutely be being kept awake by the nervous energy just vibrating around this room at the moment. Oh God, I'm like actually starting to like shake. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Dan, remind me again why I care so much.
I don't know why you do. Oops.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a game at the end of the day.
Yep, thanks, Mum. Okay.
Natalie Green says Queensland will lose the game. Blues will win. Well, if Queensland lose the game, that is certainly the outcome.
Hopefully.
Lorna says this is the score. Queensland 26, New South Wales 16. From East Cape, MBP PNG.
Welcome from PNG. I'm from neither, Marley. I'm from Sydney. I'm not in the same room on Poppet. That's why I'm on the big screen. I'm I'm actually not even in Logan anymore.
This is actually a really good little market, and I was sussing this out earlier. Now, on Sportsbet is where I'm looking, but I'm sure that this market exists with all bookmakers. This one I was very, very curious about. So, player of the match. They're offering a player of the match A or B. Now, for $2.88, Cameron Munster / Nathan Cleary for player of the match. Now, obviously, whoever wins this game it will come down to who controls the flow of this game better. Will it be Munster? Will it be Cleary? I mean, Tom Dearden is special mention in there as well, but those are the two highest profile names in their respective teams, right? So more than likely, they will get the praise for the victory. So I actually think that's pretty good. $2.88. Player A or B, player of the match, Cameron Munster, Nathan Cleary. Kurt says focus on up the wires.
As per usual, I'm not putting on any bets with this one because I don't know. I just never have, and someone just asked me I was going to be in the room with you again this evening. I was going to, but work tomorrow, and it's an absolute trek. So to get there, so the remote thing is definitely easier. So, and I can spare old Panthers' ears for another evening.
Marley Prime. Sharks are playing on Friday, mate. Friday night.
Are there any games on tomorrow?
No.
No.
Dan Jam, ahoy, mate. Felix on TikTok, ahoy. Felix says, hey, guys.
That's the only reason I like the end of Origin season. We get Thursday night footy and we get no buys.
Kurt on TikTok is a New South Wales fan, but it's a Queensland win.
Well,
Reece Walsh is the 18th man, which I actually find really surprising. Remember, I said in the entire lead-up, Billy Slater will pick Reece Walsh, guaranteed. Well, it turns out I shouldn't make guarantees like that. So really took me by surprise. I mean, we know how much Billy Slater loves and admires Reece Walsh, so to have him named 18th man, it was really surprising. But it probably makes sense. Probably makes sense. I mean, I said that I would have picked the Hammer at fullback since he was already involved in the squad, and he just slots straight back in there.
Yes, we are live streaming for the entire game. TikTok.
Kane Higgins, ahoy, mates. The teams are getting ready to come out onto the ground now to go through all the pre-game stuff. Anthems. So what? Kickoff is meant to be 8:05. I think it'll more likely be 10 or 15, won't it? At this rate.
Well, they're going to be out there. They're going to head out there soon, but they've got to do the anthem and welcome to country. So, oh, Papa, that's gross.
Oh, Angus Hammer, New South Wales 1-12. That's somebody's multi on the TikTok. Gina Ferracini, yes, we know that you love Billy Slater.
I'm so glad you're back. Eel fries.
Young man says go Maroons. Braxton says up the Queensland. Andy Andrews, ahoy there. Maroons will damage them, says Bridget on YouTube. Ben Patello, you've got a $200 bet on the Maroons. As Cameron Munster leading their team out, and right behind him, Big Papa. Two players with a hell of a lot of motivation coming into this one. What does the old Panther think of Big Josh Papali'i coming back into the squad, answering the SOS sent out? How do you feel about players retiring and then coming back into representative fixtures?
Well, I think this is a whole different ball game, really. Wayne Bennett called back Alfie Langer.
Yep.
Phil Gould called back Brad Fittler.
Mm-hmm.
But Big Papa's in the forwards. Is he going to make that big an impact in the forwards early on? That's the thing. It's sort of like they're two different scenarios, aren't they? It's different to be away from the forward pack and be protected somewhat. Players have played grand finals injured and been protected because they've been away from the pack, like Cooper Cronk when the Roosters won the premiership against Storm. So they can be protected. In the forwards, you can't really. You got to get in there, haven't you? So he reckons he's got one more game in him at State of Origin level.
Yep.
So,
and it doesn't even need to be a full game. He can just come out and go ballistic for the first 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's true.
But then Gus raised a good point, is what happens then if there's a HIA. You go out. His concern was if that is his role, to just come out and go ballistic, go ape for the first 25 minutes, then what happens if there's a HIA or something that you don't know about, and then suddenly you get tapped and he's got to put in a longer spell?
Yeah,
Or
well,
if he actually is the aggressor, I guess, in a HIA, and he gets put on report. Ricky Stewart is going to lose his mind if he loses Papa with the way the Raiders are playing in the regular season.
Let's see if I'm saying this correctly. Jakaya, thank you very much for the rose on TikTok. Mookie reckons Cam Munster, man of the match, in a winning or losing side.
Billy Slater will get it, won't he?
Billy Slater, player of the series. Yes.
Talking about players who need to redeem themselves or have a lot to play for, Zach Lomax absolutely has a lot to play for.
Well,
I love him.
It was confirmed that Zach Lomax will be doing the kicking duties tonight, at least initially. So it is a chance at redemption. M on TikTok. You're watching on Twitch and TikTok. Very nice.
Okay.
Give Latrell the goal kicking, says Gex.
Well, he keeps posting up Instagram videos of him doing these ridiculous trick shots and tagging Stephen Curry.
Who?
Anyway,
Who's been doing that?
Latrell.
Ah.
You know.
Your obligatory basketball reference.
Well, I don't know why he's tagging Stephen Curry. He should be tagging someone like Nikola Jokic or Luka, because they're better at trick shots than Steph Curry. He just shoots a lot of threes and they get some of them in.
William Daniel, ahoy mate. 4:05 a.m. kickoff in Canada.
It's out of my system. No more NBA unless someone else brings it up.
No, even then, it's not happening. Not tonight.
Do you think the girl singing the orchestra singing the anthem is a Blues supporter?
I wonder. She's wearing an awful lot of blue.
Either that or she just picked the wrong outfit on the wrong day.
As we're going through the national anthems, kickoff mere moments away. I'm still leaning towards Golden Point. I reckon Golden Point will just be such a spectacle.
I don't want Golden Point. I can't. My heart's about to burst out of my chest right now, Daniel. I cannot have Golden Point. All right, I will literally keel over right here. I will land on Buff, and he will not be happy. Ugh.
You didn't ask me this time about my impact player.
Oh, yeah? Impact player.
Yeah. I'm hoping with all the microscope being on Nathan Cleary and on Cameron Munster, I'm hoping Jerome Laurie has a blinder tonight.
Yep.
But I still think Spencer Lenu. There's been a lot of mental games going on already. Well, at the start of the series even, but in particular leading up to this game, I think he might do some damage tonight.
Yes, Jerome Luai, the forgotten threat. I mean, essentially, Jerome Luai basically won the contributed greatly to them winning the decider last year. So
Oh, Lomax and his prison tats.
As New South Wales go in a little huddle here before kickoff, Stephen Crichton slaps on the headgear. And there he is. Let's hope that we're not talking all about this man at the back end of this game. Ashley Klein. Hopefully he does not take the spotlight away from what should be a cracking decider.
He has got naked photos of someone's wife to be able to keep getting this gig about him, G.
Well, apparently he's the best performing referee. Double dollar sign on TikTok. Thank you very much for the rose. As kickoff seconds away. And it's New South Wales who get us underway. Zach Lomax sends the ball deep. And Queensland with the first hit up. How intense will it be? It's Big Papa. And he's driven backwards. Solid defense first up. That's the start that we were hoping to see. That first contact didn't really let us down. The crowd sounds hyped.
It's a big crowd, big stadium, and it's full.
I'm assuming that it's a New South Wales chant that's going on at the moment. There's tackle 4 here for Queensland. They're still inside their own 40. For Asua Malawi, dumped in a 3-man shot. Fifth and last. Munster with the first kick. Gets a good purchase on it. Edwards is under it. Takes it 10 out from his own line and heads straight back into contact. And there, leading the chase, is Big Papa Leahy.
Oh, he must be tired already.
He's given it all. This was the plan. He'll give it all for the opening 25 minutes. Or thereabouts. And then that'll be his night done. He's been involved in every tackle so far. Albeit there's only been 3 of them. But still, he's been involved in every single one so far.
Plus his initial hit up.
Plus his initial hit up on play 1. Absolutely. 2 tackles left in this set. Yo in at first receiver. Inside ball for Payne in the Haas. And that was a good, strong early carry from Payne in the Haas. Poor service there to Cleary, who does manage to get a good kick away.
Munster was in the way, of course, so, you know.
And the hammer. The hammer with his first kick return. So Queensland back in possession.
It really irks me how cheap the Queensland jerseys look when you slightly pull on them and they go white. Sorry, that's just such a bugbear for me.
Big defense here from New South Wales early on. Queensland being pinned down inside their own 40. And there's Big Papa again. Up to halfway. He backs into the defense. Down the short side. The kick's put away and under it again. Ever reliable Dylan Edwards.
Don't jinx him.
Back into contact. And it's Fa'osua Malawi leading the chase. Heelfry says, I don't understand why the Queensland kit has the Westpac logo when it's the Sydney Bank. Well, we've got Westpac here.
All banks start in Sydney.
Crichton with the offload and hits space for Liam Martin. Up over halfway and tackled into touch. Oh, he stays in the field of play magically. That was a great chase, though, and a great tackle put on him. Payne in the Haas again. Gets it back to Luai. Luai to Mitchell. Latrell Mitchell with the kick. In behind the hammer, but the hammer too fast. Too much pace.
On top of him. What a chase down on that kick from Latrell Mitchell.
Gus did say that he was expecting New South Wales to shift the ball early. And they've done just that. They probably needed somebody other than Liam Martin on the receiving end of that line break. I don't know how he managed to stay in the field of play.
Plays so nicely there.
Big Papa again. Boy, he's getting through some work. Grant sends it down the short side. Munster with the double pump to Capewell. And that's the 5th and last for Queensland. 35 out from their own line. Back to Munster. Sends a high ball up. They're going to let it bounce here, New South Wales. It could go anywhere. And it sits up nicely for To'o. To'o returns it to the 20. New South Wales back in possession. So we saw the early shift. taking Queensland by surprise. And I just wonder, as another offload to Latrell bends away from the first tackle. The offloading game. Jeez, this game's only 5 minutes in. New South Wales have had about 4 offloads. As Angus Crichton's tackled on halfway. Play 3. Yo at first receiver, just running straight and hard. That's what we want to see out of Isaiah Yo. As Cleary, the cutout pass for Crichton. Crichton skips away from Shibasaki. He's got Liam Martin in support again. Gaps opening up in midfield. And Cleary's taken 20 out from the line on the 5th and last. Into midfield for Luai. Space out on the left. Luai's kick's a little too heavy, and that's a 7-tackle set. Through the hands. They needed to go there. Poor end of set. And a 7-tackle set now for Queensland. Not opportunities that you obviously want to be giving away too often. To state the obvious.
All right. First 5 minutes, shake off the cobwebs. Let's go. Come on, lads.
Up to halfway here, and Queensland shift out to Cletus Cotter. Halfway through the set. Staying down the short side. Harry Grant goes for a run. He's got Dearden with him. This is a good opportunity now for Queensland. They've weathered the early storm. Capewell with the dummy. Was he taken high? Yes, he was. There's the first penalty of the game.
Yep.
Take the 2. Yes, pretty clear high contact there. Not a whole lot in it, but pretty clear high contact.
It was Critter lining up, and I mean, they're both big boys. Capewell was at the, dare I say it, falling into the penalty, falling into the tackle. They
are going to have the 2. They are going to have the shot at 2.
Of course.
So will this be the first points? Now it's 25 metres out and about 5 or so in from touch. Like, it's not an easy kick by any stretch of the imagination.
I was going to say something then. Oh, heel fries on YouTube. You're like, what's that kick from Luai? I assume is what you meant. They were talking about it afterwards. Apparently there is a bit of a decent breeze down there running at the backs of New South Wales. So maybe that caught the ball a little bit for Luai. He wasn't intending on kicking it straight down like that into the in-goal area. We got a lot of Blues supporters in the chat room, which I love to see.
Well, of course. I mean, our thumbnail is all of us in blue jerseys. Matty Colkin, thank you very much for the heart me over there on the TikTok. As Valentine Holmes lines up this attempt at goal. Under the circumstances, certainly not an easy one.
Is it super cold down there tonight, heel fries, or is it, pretty mild? It's pretty mild here in southeast Queensland. That looks relatively easy from that angle down. I don't know what you're talking about.
In a state of origin decider? No, it's not.
Well, Lomax has proved that. But this is Valentine Holmes we're talking about.
Yes, and?
As much as I don't want to give him benefit of the doubt.
Hooks it left, but it's still through the post.
Over the black dot.
2 points. It was not over the black dot. It was nowhere near the middle of the post. 2 points to nil, though. End of story. It doesn't have to be over the black dot. It just has to go through. And it's 2 points to nil. Queensland.
Marley Prime, we don't know where James is. He hasn't been around for a while. So.
Yeah, Jamesy boy pops in sporadically these days.
Maybe he's got a new blow-up missus. Who knows?
Blow up.
What?
2 points to nil. 9 minutes gone. Lomax gets us back underway.
Rancy.
Deep into the corner. And it is Big Papa again. Big Papa returning the kickoff. Yeah, Robert M. Robert M's another one. Our stats man in the back. Pops in from time to time, but Yeah.
I think Robert
And,
Edwards is on and then goes off and does his whatever he's doing and pops in when he needs to.
And Vobsy's another one we don't see all that often anymore. As Big Papa again, he's getting through a mountain of work in this opening 10 minutes. Tackle 4 here for Queensland, 30 out from their own line. And Kurt Capewell takes the 5th and last. 40 out from their own line here, Queensland, and it's Dearden thumping it downfield. Tracking back forward is Lomax. And Lomax takes it straight up the middle. Trent Liero, Munster, and Fa'asua Malawi there to bring him down. John Michael, ahoy, mate. Brian To'o brings it outside the 30.
Yeah, heel fries. He left us. We needed new mods.
Short side. Angus Crichton taken down as the pace has gone out of the New South Wales game for the time being. We go through the little settling down period. Edwards plays it just short of halfway. Yo. Well contained there by Capewell. 5th and last. Back to Cleary for the kick. Cleary puts it high. Hammer moves forward and takes it 10 out from the Queensland line. Big defense from Liam Martin, of course. Liam Martin leading the chase and putting in a monster of a hit.
I mean, you talk about Papa Ligi and the work he does, but Liam Martin just always there.
Doesn't have an off switch. We gave him a lot of praise in game 1 and game 2.
Give him a lot of praise regardless.
Yes. Down the short side, Queensland. Robert Toya taking the hit up. Into midfield for Liero. Well taken down and easily contained there. Trent Liero. 5th and last, Munster puts the kick high. This is a contestable one. And pressure on New South Wales here. No, that was an easy take in the end by Lomax. Well, Queensland, they had the kick chase there. For whatever reason, they decided not to compete for the ball.
What's happened to Lomax?
Yeah, Lomax was a little slow to get up and play it.
Oh, God. Now all we're going to hear about the courageous...
Luai shifts it on and a huge tackle from Valentine Holmes on Angus Crichton. He read the play well.
Pop one of those back, Val Holmes, that's for sure. Angus Crichton does not like to be put on his ass like that.
Well, that was a penalty here for New South Wales. I told you the penalty count would be even in game 3.
Okay, we're only 10 minutes in. Calm down.
Yeah, well, we were 40 minutes in and they still hadn't had a single penalty last game. So it's well worth noting as Cleary puts this into touch just inside Queensland's half. 2 points to 0, 12 minutes gone.
Oh, God.
Payne in the Haas with the first hit up. Chicken Jockey says game's over. Queensland wins. 40 out from the line here as Yo shifts it on to Max King. Payne Haas winding up for another run. No, he's the decoy. It goes out the back for Luai.
Smack him around the head, but that's, there's...
Down the short side again. Cleary to Edwards, who's up in the line. It's been battered down by Queensland. Cotter's after it, and he knocks it on. Either way, it's going to be a set restart here for New South Wales.
Good.
0 tackle. It should be. What? No touch.
Why was that on a tackle restart?
Forward pass there from Robson. They get away with it. And Edwards is tackled 25 out. I don't know how that set wasn't restarted. Down the short side, Luai. Cut out pass for Latrell, who grubbers into the end goal and battered dead by the hammer. Goal line dropout, Latrell.
It's all right.
A nice early kick.
Restart.
Yeah, it appeared to me like there were clearly a couple of touches there from Queensland players. Old Panther, what do you reckon?
Yeah, well, it looked that way, but not being able to see a replay. But...
Yeah. Oh, they won't be showing a replay of that.
It's funny how they don't show replays of that stuff. Hey?
Ollie is the best. Stoy, mate, as Queensland goes short. The ball's batted back Cleary waits for it, sends it infield. And Max King will be tackled 25 metres out as Carrigan's getting ready to come on. Presumably, well, who will he come on for? Is this Big Papa's first rest? Is this Papa's first rest of the evening? Cleary in midfield. Angles back to the short side. He beats the tackle of Fa'asuamalawe.
Who went absolutely flying.
Edwards, inside ball for Crichton. They're 10 metres out here, New South Wales. Tackle 4. They're lined up to the left, and that's where Robson goes. Cleary, the short ball for King. 5 metres out, fifth and last. Slow play the ball. Robson takes a few steps, gives it to Cleary. Out the back to Luai, and the pass has gone in behind To'o, who then loses it behind him. Was this played at? No. Knock on and a turnover to Queensland, and the execution just lacking at the moment for New South Wales. Hard to pinpoint exactly what's going wrong for them. Are they rushing through the plays? Like, what's happening here? The execution's way off.
They're calling the ball back. They've had a look at it in the bunker, and the ball's been batted back. The ball's been batted forward by Queensland out of To'o's hands there. I don't think there was a knock on so much, but whatever.
And it was indeed Big Papa who's off for his first rest of the night. Well, he put in a what would you say? We were talking a lot in the pregame about Big Papa's impact, and I mean, it was largely neither here nor there, really, was it? He got through a lot of work.
Yeah. But was the purpose of his work to rest the rest of the Queenslanders?
There's an offload here for Dearden. There's space out to the right. Cotter goes through a big gap. Support infield from the Hammer. And Hammer spills it, bats it back. And it sets up for Harry Grant. Well, the pass was poor. Munster's taken down by To'o from behind. And I tell you what, if that pass is executed properly, Hammer's in under the sticks.
John Michael, you're watching on a flight back from Cairo.
Fifth and last here for Queensland. Dearden's going to run it. Cut out pass for Toya. And Toya's taken down, but he pops the ball back in field. And here's Harry Grant through half a gap. Flick pass out the back. Intercepted by Edwards. Penalty Queensland.
Of course it's a penalty Queensland.
Tackled without the ball. Somebody was.
What?
Well, they're getting the bounce. They're getting the... Yeah, they're getting the little swing of things here.
Did they say tackled without the ball? Who was tackled without the ball?
Let's see. It would be...
Well, that's not a tackle.
Well, surely that's not what it was for.
That's what he was saying. He was like tackled without the ball. So now he's just making shit up.
Tom Dearden stepping up. They're not going to take the 2 on this occasion. They put it into touch and looking to keep the pressure on. That was an interesting call, to say the least. 15 metres out. Here's Carrigan.
I think they've got it down that side.
He'll play it in midfield. 10 out from the line. Liero steps back in towards the tackle.
Love to go to Cairo.
5 metres out. Grant with the short ball for Carrigan, who has his second crack at it. 3 gone.
Gently put him down because he knows he needs him.
Grant from dummy half looks one way, goes back the right side for Asuamalawe. They're a metre short here, Queensland. Dearden at the back to Munster, lined up to the left with good shape. Holmes gets on the outside, gives it to Coates, and there's the first try of the game. Who was it that came flying up out of the line and missed the tackle? That's where this one was created.
It was Stephen Crichton, I believe.
Somebody came racing up out of the line for New South Wales, couldn't make the hit on Val Holmes, who spun away, kept his feet, and then had a 2-on-1.
It was Critter.
And it was Zach Lomax jamming in. Coming off his wing. It was well covered. It was well covered. And Zach Lomax has come racing in. didn't need to do that. Shibasaki was well covered by Stephen Crichton. Lomax needed to stay out on his man, and Stephen Crichton knows it. He's got his arms up. Like, where's the defender?
Sort of see the writing on the wall with that one, couldn't you? They made the yardage too easily. The penalty didn't help.
Well, once Lomax made that decision to jam in, he had to make that tackle. As soon as you missed that tackle, that's all she wrote. Boom, straight through him. He has to make that tackle stick. 6 points to nil. The kick to come.
Well, that answered one question for us, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
The
What was that?
not doing the tunnel walk didn't make any difference to the slow start, did it?
Well, yeah. Well, did they not do it, or did they do
no,
it?
apparently they didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that at the start.
What's up, Peel Fries?
Val Holmes from the sideline.
Let me just rub it in by saying he got 5 from 5 in Origin 2.
This one's hooking back. It's on to Val Holmes. Right, that one was right down the middle. 8 points to nil. What a start this has been for Queensland.
Oh, shut up.
Cockness Monster says some interesting calls so far, though. Will O'Driscoll says that was a ball penalty. It was certainly tough. Tackled without the ball for just making contact with somebody. It was a rough call. Oh, harsh. It was a harsh call. As Carrigan takes the kickoff in the absence of Papa. 8 points to nil. Another slow start for the Blues.
Yes, because that's what we need.
Cotter down the short side.
Clotter.
I normally call him Cletus, so I was sort of in between. I was in between Cletus. 40 out from their own line. Here's for Asua Malawi up the middle. Fifth and last on halfway. Smack bang on halfway in midfield. Munster takes a few steps up to the line and puts it high. Contestable kick. Edwards and Holmes. Penalty to New South Wales. Val Holmes impeding. Or was it Shibasaki, actually? Sorry, Shibasaki, who's been pinged there for no genuine contest for the ball, which, geez, that might be a little bit rough on Shibasaki there. Shibasaki was penalised there for not making a genuine contest at the ball, which is a pretty harsh call considering he won the battle in the air and touched the ball. So, but apparently Ashley Klein's KPIs are all on target. So, who are we to argue?
That might have been the square up.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, if Ashley Klein is the best referee in the game, then the game's in big trouble. That's all I will say. There's Payne in the Haas. Payne in the Haas gets the offload. Boy, he's been offloading like a beast tonight, Payne in the Haas. Cleary's tackled on play 4. And here he is again, the man beast. Payne in the Haas.
This is Origin. It's a different beast.
Fifth and last. Cleary puts the kick up. Contestable ball. Stephen Crichton's bumped off. Cleared by Ashley Klein, though. As Crichton was bumped off the kick chase. Queensland ball, 10 out from their own line. Boy, oh boy. Ashley Klein. This is an Ashley Klein special. And the thing is, like, as I always say, Ashley Klein is never biased towards one team or another. He just sucks. As Harry Grant catches them napping around marker. Pat Carrigan just slipped on his ass. He wasn't tackled. He just fell over. Fifth and last for Queensland. On their own 40, Dearden looking for the 40-20. To'o and Edwards get back, and Edwards takes it on the full.
Was he?
To'o
It's like, that
tackled
was a
30
little bit
metres
of
out.
20. That kick was so far
Mitchell
outfield.
steps away from one, gets the offload back in field. New South Wales getting plenty of offloads.
Okay, Zach Lomax, you need to stop trying to save the day and just play footy.
Edwards takes tackle 3, just short of halfway. Robson from dummy half has a run. Makes some good meters. Now Luai darts out of dummy half. He's got Cleary running with him. Cleary dummies.
Right up the side.
Dearden takes him down. Bobby, ahoy,
Down
mate.
the other side, lads.
Fifth and last, Luai from 30 out. Puts it high. And chasing through to put pressure on, but it's an easy take at the back for Coates. They've met him as soon as he comes to ground. And Queensland will start this set 5 metres out from their own line. Just some small execution errors from New South Wales early.
Small,
Yes. Small,
No,
easy things to
big.
fix up.
big, and lots. This is state of origin. These execution errors should not be in this game.
Grant scoops it up with one arm, catches them napping again. Harry Grant, full of running. Fifth and last, Munster from halfway. Puts it up. Edwards takes it on the full at the back. Returns it outside the 20. A wall of Queensland defence there. It was a great kick chase as Liam Martin getting himself bandaged up in back play. Getting some tape
just gonna
around the
pass it on.
some tape around the forearm there for Liam Martin.
You probably can't read the label, John Michael, but I'm drinking Bottega Gold Prosecco.
Yo with the inside ball to Atikamanu, who's on here. Tackle just short of halfway. Short side play. Luai goes out the back for Mitchell. Mitchell with the flick pass to To'o. It was surely forward.
That was a forward pass.
No call.
In front of the touchy, and he didn't call it.
Fifth and last.
What?
Cleary puts this one high. Hammer's under it. Hammer with an easy take at the back. Well, these kicks from New South Wales, too deep. They're not able to put any kick pressure on. Now they are racing through and they're tackling Coates and the Hammer as soon as they catch the ball and come to ground, but they need to put some kick pressure on. Back into midfield here for Curtis Capewell. Speaking of the Auckland Warriors, somebody was.
Read this Thursday tomorrow.
Carrigan with the short ball to Collins. Collins is tripped up and taken down by Luai. Fifth and last. Short side for Dearden. Inside the 40 again. Taken at the back by Dylan Edwards.
Dylan Edwards.
Mr. Reliable at the back. Military Dill.
Good Lord, look at those completed sets. 9-10 for New South Wales, 12-12 for Queensland.
Yeah, there's certainly been a lack of handling errors.
Oh, don't say it. God.
Oh, would you prefer I just not commentate on the game at all and don't say anything?
Just don't say it in the jinx-like way.
Stephen Crichton receives the inside ball from Cleary, takes it up over halfway. And still dragging players with him, Stephen Crichton. Yo goes out the back for Cleary. Short ball. And Angus Crichton, 30 metres out now. Fifth and last.
They never go right, yeah? Like
Cleary puts this kick high again. It's a deep one. Martin chasing through. Cleared the contact there, Ashley Klein, as Martin's bumped off. And Xavier Coates brings it back out past the 20. Liam Martin bumped off the kick chase. That opened up the space for Coates.
it was bumped off the kick chase too by Munster. So there you go. There's a little bit of Ashley Klein going, oh yeah, I'll let you have that, Munster, because your dad just died. No disrespect.
Munster heads across field. He's got Dearden and the Hammer up in the line. Good shape out to the right. Toya looks to put the fend on Latrell, who drags him across the sideline. He keeps the ball in the field of play for the Hammer. Hammer to Dearden. Dearden scores.
Oh, dear.
Tom Dearden scores under the posts.
Oh, they're too busy trying to drag him over the sideline. He got the offload.
12 points to nil with the kick to come from right in front.
What the hell?
It was Latrell Mitchell dragging. It was either Robert Toya or Shibasaki towards the touchline. Somehow got the ball back in field. And it was Robert Toya, Latrell Mitchell, and Brian Tottle drag him towards the sideline. And he pushes the ball back.
Literally should have been held.
The New South Wales defense just stopped. They thought he was going into touch, and they just stopped. And it opened up for the Hammer and Tom Dearden.
Because it should have been called held. Like, I mean, Jesus. So it's not called held. It's not a penalty.
Well, because he wasn't held. He was being dragged over the sideline.
Fun deal.
At absolutely no point there was he held. So, there wasn't going to be a call of held.
Actually going to slip my wrist right now. Oh, wait, that's going to get us banned on TikTok. I'm not going to commit suicide, I promise. That's probably going to get us banned too. I'm sorry. I'm not doing anything above.
From right in front, this conversion should be a simple one. And here, the defense stopped. Angus Crichton caught flat-footed. Hammer gets on the outside. And Tom Dearden, a lot of pace. Simple conversion, this one for the Valdust. And it's quite simply, Old Panther, that's unfortunately, that's just the basics of the game. You play to the whistle, and you don't stop moving. And New South Wales defense there just completely switched off.
Yep, have to agree with you there. They've Queensland have been playing smarter football for sure, and you really, even though it appeared they were getting the rub of the green with the decisions, they should have been shut down.
Yep,
in their attack, and they've just not been doing it.
Both tries, like Xavier Coates with the first try, it was Zach Lomax unnecessarily coming in off the wing.
Yep.
And there it was Angus Crichton was the closest to the ball, but there were other people as well who just didn't stay focused. Thought the play was done.
They know they've got another half a field of players, right? Like they just keep going left. Like, come on, go right. Go
Lindsay
right.
Collins brings it out to the 30. Liero up the middle. Tackle 4, 40 out from their own line here, Queensland. Munster, he's going to kick on play 4 into the back of the head of New South Wales, and it bounces up into the arms of Coates. It's not played at, so it's still 5th and last.
Something went our way.
But, wow, talk about the bounce of the ball going your way as Dearden has it now in midfield and puts it high. Contestable kick. New South Wales let it bounce. Queensland let it bounce. And Edwards has it. Tackled inside the 20. Risky stuff, though. Letting that ball bounce with some of the speedsters that Queensland have got. If that ball sits up.
Crichton didn't even register that ball hit him, Angus Crichton. It slammed straight into his shoulder, point blank range, close to Cameron Munster. He didn't even register that ball hit him. He just keeps on running.
Oh, here we go. Spencer Leniu about to be injected into the game.
Oh, let's get some
As
anger out.
Cleary goes out the back for Edwards. Pops the pass on for Lomax. Lomax can't put the fend on Shibasaki, and that's the 5th and last. Crichton into dummy half. Gives it to Cleary, who puts it high. Again, it's too deep for a contest. I've got a feeling that this is strategy now. Like, it's just happening too often. Queensland are putting up contestable kicks. New South Wales are kicking long. They're chasing through, but they're not putting any kick pressure on.
Apparently there's a wind factor down there. It's at the backs of New South Wales, so maybe neither of them are actually...
Offloaded here, back for Grant. Dead and dummies almost splits them on that right edge again.
They're not locking the ball up, are they?
Well, we're not.
No, too much offloading. For sure. 9.5 till the break. Liero takes the 5th and last on halfway. Well, that's better from Robson, locking the ball up. 5th and last.
How much I hate Queensland.
Munster puts this one high. Edwards steps away from Capewell, brings it back to the 20 meters line. 9 minutes and left until the break. New South Wales, a lot of hands on hips. The body language is not good. And here comes Spencer Leniu.
He's being booed / cheered. There's a lot of Queenslanders there by the sounds of things. Oh my God.
Tackle 4. Cleary's going to kick early here from inside the 40. Sends it down the middle and it sits up for the Hammer at the back. Hammer's got the Valdust with him. And Valentine Holmes brings it back to the 10.
Why do you call him
Munster
Valdust?
drops it off on the inside there for Coates. 20 out from their own line. 3 tackles through this set.
Did you hear me?
No.
Why do you call him Valdust?
Because when he puts the maroon jersey on, he just sprinkles a little bit of magic dust over the games. He's a completely different beast in a maroon jersey. Curtis Capewell takes it up over halfway on the 5th and last. Munster runs it to the line. Puts it high. Another contestable ball. A little too heavy this time. And To'o steps away from Collins. But he's wrapped up by Cletus Cotter, Trent Liero, and Tom Dearden leading the kick chase. Mitchell bumps off one, but he's taken down by Cotter. And again, lots of hands on hips here. The New South Wales forwards as they're slow to get back. Down the short side, Luai with the cutout pass for Latrell. Gets to his knees and flick pass out for To'o. Back into midfield they go. Edwards. 5th and last on halfway. Cleary, short. Oh, do they know it's the 5th and last? Or is it not the 5th and last? Okay, Channel 9 got the graphics wrong. Now it's the 5th and last. As Cleary sends this one high. Lomax here. Wins the battle in the air. Fires the pass back in field and Coates comes down with it.
He kind of did something right. He didn't take
Well, there we go. New South Wales, their first real kick tonight that was contestable, and Lomax has won it under no threat at all. Big defense incoming here. With 6.5 to go to the break. 14 points to 0.
There's someone called Evelyn in the chat saying go Maroons, and all I can think about now is my mum.
Dearden taken down by To'o and Latrell. They're inside their own 20, and Toya bobbles the ball. That made him an easy target. 5th and last on their own 20 here, Queensland. Where did that set of 6 of defence come from? As Munster sends the ball, they've let it bounce. It sits up kindly for Edwards at the back. And Edwards returns it. Now heading sideways. Fends off one, and he's got To'o in a little bit of space. To'o up to half. Up to halfway.
Latrell, get your big ass back on side.
This is good field position. Points are now becoming crucial for New South Wales before the halftime break. Utikamanu gets the offload. Back for Robson. 35 out from the line now on play 3. Cleary wants it on the left. Goes back inside for Leniu. But very flat-footed there, Spencer. And the defence has got him easily contained as Edwards now passes out to nobody and Lomax loses it.
Boys!
0 tackle here for Queensland, and boy, it is a shambles at the moment for New South Wales.
Lomax, just sub yourself off for God's sake.
The execution is severely lacking. Shibasaki heading across field. Easy target for the defence. 14 points to 0, 5 minutes to go till the break. Three tackles left. And up to halfway go Queensland. Munster spills it out the back. Hammer scoops it up. Lost forward, says Ashley Klein. And this will certainly be a captain's challenge.
Is he going to captain's challenge?
Oh, maybe they're not going to worry about it. They are going to do it. Captain's challenge.
Challenge it. There's it's 4:20 to go in the first half, and he's going to captain's challenge it. That's a bit dumb, Munster.
Captain's challenge here at the call of knock on.
I mean, obviously, if it works for him, it's not dumb, but wouldn't you rather save it for when you... It's taken out. Are they kidding? Yeah, I don't think he's taken out / Oh, God, this will go the way of Queensland.
Queensland called for a knock on. Captain's challenge. And it's going to be a penalty. Successful challenge, and they've come up with a penalty here for Queensland. Wow.
I'm just going to go and light this state on fire.
The captain's challenge was a good one. And Dearden puts this into touch. Now, I don't want to be overly dramatic here, but this could be the game right here.
Do you want to be overly dramatic? I just said I was going to light this state on fire. Let's
25 metres out, right in front. 17 from 7 completed sets. Queensland, they've been near perfect. Hamo drops it off infield for Cotter. Cotter's taken 10 metres out. Mango, thank you very much for the 9 TikToks. Cheers. Dearden heads across field. Munster inside for Shibasaki. Shibasaki heads back towards the right edge. Cut out pass for Toya. There's space on the inside for Toya. Can't get the arms free. Desperation defense from the Blues. Dearden. Caliero back down the short side. They've got scattered defenders. Brian Toll's a long way in field.
But he got some great tackle.
He made the tackle though, so yes. Carrigan. 5th and last. He'll play it 10 metres out. Just to the left of posts. Munster chips it in over the top looking for Coates. Coates takes on Lomax. Lomax spills it and grounds it in goal for a goal line dropout. And with 2 minutes 50 to go, surely they send this one deep. You don't, surely with 2 minutes to go in the half, you don't risk a short restart here.
He was a boot.
I would not at all be surprised if the home crowd are booing their own team on the back of this performance. And Mitchell does indeed smack it deep. Up over halfway, Queensland let it bounce. And Collins bumps off the first tackle. And they will start the set here 40 metres out from the line. They'll get a full set. Carrigan. 25 out from the line. Grant back into midfield for Dearden. Short ball for Collins, who almost splits them. But Cleary and Martin hold on for dear life. They're hanging on by a thread here, the Blues. There's Dearden dummies, almost slices through. They're a metre short. Harry Grant from dummy half burrows over, and he gets the ball free and scores. Harry Grant scores beside the post. 18-0 kick to come. 18 points to 0, the kick to come. It's a massacre. Much like the first half of game 2. An absolute massacre. And I can't imagine Queensland allowing a New South Wales comeback like we saw in the second game. William Daniel says, just like last game. Try confirmed. 18 points to 0. The kick to come from right in front. 2 minutes to go until the halftime break. Well, actually less than 2 minutes now. Harry Grant, he had 3 defenders on him, and he was still able to fight his way through. Unbelievable strength from the little hooker.
No. He bounced off the goalpost to get over there. It's an unbelievable strength. Let's not give him any more credit than he deserves. All right?
Spenny685 says, "Come on, Blues, I need the $300. I don't want to go back to New Zealand with nothing." Fair enough.
No extra credit where it's
Valentine
not-
Holmes from right in front. And it will be 20 points to nil at the halftime break. A near perfect half of football from Queensland. 100% completion rate.
I'm not doing Origin next year. Stuff this shit.
You say that every single year. Every single year New South Wales lose, you're like, I'm not watching it next year.
That's
Every
last year
single
was the only
time.
one. It's too much. I can't do it. They just I'm such a masochist. They're the worst kind of relationship ever.
So, old Panther.
Well, it was very noticeable towards the end of that half
Oh,
that New South Wales weren't moving off their line in defence. They were waiting for the Queenslanders to come to them.
and I didn't realise we actually had time for the kickoff. So there you go. This will be the last play of the opening half now.
They could score again, yeah.
No, there won't be time for the play the ball.
Why
That
are
is
you
it,
saying
the
that?
halftime break.
I don't like that.
20 points to nil at the break. Unbelievable. New South Wales started well in terms of the expansive play, the early shifts. They were opening Queensland up on the edges. Couldn't make a count. Queensland just hung in, weathered the storm, as it were, and they've taken full control of this game on the back of 100% completion rate. Really, I mean, that's been the key differential.
What the hell is wrong with Cleary? If he's injured, he should be off. Get him off. I'm sick.
Yeah, 100% completion rate has been the clear difference between the two teams. Dan Jam says Queensland's completion rate is impressive. Says it all, really. Absolutely. Mango 187, thank you very much for the 9 roses on the TikTok. But yeah, like from the very start, like New South Wales were doing early shifts. They were opening up Queensland on the edges, but the execution wasn't there. There were a couple of times where I think if the pass went out in front rather than behind, there were opportunities. And Queensland weathered that early storm, and just for the rest of it, the rest of the half, it was just domination.
I'll be right back.
And just the basics they're getting wrong. Not playing to the whistle on defense. Zach Lomax flying in off the wing was just completely unnecessary. Stephen Crichton was there. Stephen Crichton had Shibasaki manned up. I don't know what was going through Lomax's head when he came charging in off his wing. And even when the pass went out to Coates, you saw Stephen Crichton in the background, like, had his arms up, like, what? Where's he gone? So,
And that last try was just poor defence leading up to it. They took the ball from the dropout back on the halfway line, and the New South Wales defence was letting the Queensland attack run to them rather than getting up in their faces. They'll have to fix that. Otherwise, this will be a slaughter.
yeah, more than it already has been. Well, we'll see if they can fix it up in the second half.
So would it be fair to say, Dan, that New South Wales must score first in the second half?
Absolutely must score first in the second half. Absolutely. And we said that in game 2 as well. Went into halftime in a similar position and said New South Wales need to be the first team to score in the second half. I mean, I think that is pretty much not debatable.
There is one positive to come out of the first half.
What's that?
For New South Wales. They haven't missed a goal.
No, they no, they have not. All right, Waste to Water Sports. Oh, hang on. Heel Fries has got a question for us before we pop off for our halftime break. Dan and the Old Panther answer this question. What does Laurie Daley offer as New South Wales coach? Well, I think we actually spoke about it briefly, I think, in a Generations podcast one time. And I said that I couldn't understand it because he's been there and done it before and did it unsuccessfully. So I don't understand why they've gone back to him.
Maybe they had no other options. Yeah, my personal opinion was that they shouldn't have picked him.
No.
But you know, who do you go with? You know, Madge got his job at the Broncos, so that ruled him out.
Well, the thing is, for State of Origin, and I've said this all the time, for State of Origin, you don't need, like, these are the best players. These are the best of the best in most cases. They don't need to be coached. They don't need to be trained. They don't need a tactician. I think a successful State of Origin coach is more of a man manager. How do you get the troops motivated, get them built up for the big occasion? So, I mean, it doesn't have to be some high profile signing, is what I'm suggesting. So there were plenty of other options for that. I mean, I'm not going to name them all, but I mean, there's multiple. Yeah. And maybe they were asked and didn't want to do it, but it just seems pointless going back to what's been tried and failed.
And what you said about man management, that was one of the things that Mal Meninga prided himself on. He actually said in an interview that he wasn't a coach, he was a manager.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You don't need to coach these players. But anyways,
there's a question there about the soccer.
Oh, cool.
I'll go PSG.
PSG or Real Madrid.
Yeah.
We're going to have ourselves a half-time break. While they're having a half-time break, we'll be back for the second half. Can New South Wales turn it around, or will Queensland's domination continue? Surely they can't continually keep up a 100% completion rate for the rest of the game. We'll find out, though. Waste Water Sports be back after this short break for halftime.
What?
All right, West of Water Sports, welcome back. The State of Origin decider, 20 points to nil at the halftime break. Can the Blues mount another comeback, much like we saw in Game 2? You're all good. Old Panthers just wandering back in.
Yes.
20 points to nil at the halftime break. 100% completion rate for Queensland in that opening half. I mean, that is just unreal. Absolute madness. And we'll see. They have to be the first team to score in the second half. I mean, that goes without saying. Try scorers for this one. Let's bring it up. Xavier Coates obviously got the first one. Tom Dearden's got one. There we go. Yeah, Xavier Coates, Tom Dearden, Harry Grant. And, of course, a penalty goal.
I'm so very sorry. I'd just like to apologise to anyone who's watching on TikTok who can't watch us anymore because I opened.
Second half is underway. And it's New South Wales with first use of it. And that's a big charge back into contact. Cletus Cotter has been rocked backwards in the tackle. Solid start to the second half. Utikamanu with the hit up.
Matt Colkin, I happened to TikTok.
Yep, we won't get into it, obviously, just in case it misinterprets anything again, although there was no misinterpretation of that one. It was out of context, though. But it is nice of them, actually, to shoot me the message that they shot me.
No.
Cleary gets the kick away on halfway. Taken on the full at the back by Xavier Coates. An easy take. Queensland start the set 20 out from their own line. Shibasaki in midfield. We saw it in Game 2. Will we see it again in Game 3? A second half comeback. This time they would obviously need their kicking boots on, though. Robert Toya takes tackle 4. 40 out from their own line here, Queensland. Carrigan. Up the middle, fifth and last. Munster on halfway, puts this one high. Edwards is slow to react. Slides across the turf and takes it 10 out from their own line here, New South Wales. 20 points to nil. I still can't believe that happened again.
Look, if we have a second half comeback like we did, then it's fine, as long as we can kick some conversions. By the way, old Panther, I heard your little quip about at least the Blues can take away that they didn't miss any conversions in the first half. Ha ha, you're hilarious.
Tikimanu up the middle, just short of halfway here on play 4. Robson finds some space, some lazy markers. Takes it into Queensland territory, fifth and last. Edwards slots into dummy half. Cleary sends it high. Liam Martin leading the chase on Xavier Coates, who takes it and surrenders in the tackle as he falls to ground. So this will be interesting to see how Queensland play the second half as well, because I think it's fair to say that in Game 2, they kind of went to sleep a little bit and just tried to defend their lead. I don't think they'll make that mistake again in Game 3. They won't just try and defend this lead. They'll keep attacking. So I guess what I'm suggesting is this score could be absolutely anything. I could get my golden point, or it could be a 50-point lacking. Fifth and last, Dearden steps outside the 40 and sends it down the middle of the field. And Edwards tracking back. Takes it on the full. Gets away from Clotter. Caught him Clotter again. Gets away from Cotter and almost makes a break there, Dylan Edwards. That was a promising kick return. They're going to need to be near perfect here in the second half. New South Wales.
To be perfect in the second half. I don't want to hear this near perfect nonsense. I want perfection.
Yo carries it up to halfway. Tackle 4. Robson into midfielder. Tikamanu goes to Cleary. Dummies inside. Goes outside for Luai. Luai pops it up for Latrell, who flick pass back infield for Luai. Tackled on the 30-metre line. 5th and last.
Taken down pretty much.
Appealing for a penalty there, New South Wales, but it's not forthcoming. And it's an easy take of the back for the Hammer. We got time off here. Oh no, just go back to the mark and play it, Hammer.
They should have time off. There's a Queenslander tiny shoe in the back there. Right lace in, left lace in, right lace in.
Stephen Peake, ahoy mate, as Munster tries to get on the outside of Cleary. They pick him up and carry him backwards. Tackle 3. 12 out from their own line here, Queensland. Now big contact on Robert Toya.
Right. No, I'm legit.
Low play the ball.
Legit wondering. Other than the obvious, what do you think Laurie Daley was giving them at halftime?
5th and last.
And the obvious being play the game to win.
Dead puts the kick down the middle, and it's an easy take of the back for Edwards. Oh, what can you say at halftime after a performance like that? Remember what happened in game 2, lads? Go out and do it again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, 100% completion from the sets, like.
Robson, dummies, finding space around marker, and Crichton gets the offload. Tackle 3, just inside Queensland territory.
They need to just...
Yo at first receiver, sends it on to Cleary. Cleary, dummies, almost breaks the line. 40 metres out, quick play the ball. Robson goes on a scurry. 5th and last. Edwards slots into dummy half. Cleary waits for it on this near side, puts it high. Contestable ball. Mitchell bats it back. It's there for To'o, who gets a second kick to it, and it's not a good one. But there's a penalty here to New South Wales. And Latrell Mitchell is getting in the face of Val Holmes. There's a mismatch.
Well, Val Holmes should, just pipe down and sit his ass back down.
It went down this near side. Cleary put the kick up, and now what was the penalty for?
Oh, who knows?
I don't really know.
Penalties for Queensland, we don't know. We still don't know what they're for. Not square on marker.
Robson.
Penalty was for.
Yeah, sounds like it. Pensalenu with the first hit up. Slow, play the ball.
Well,
Yo with the short ball to Itikimanu. Itikimanu, 5 metres out. Bring back the Biff, says Stephen Peake. Robson fires it out into midfield for Cleary to Luai. Spins away from one, but Cotter comes back at him and brings him down. Robson goes on a scurry. Doing his best Harry Grant impression. Can't get the ball down.
There's not a Harry Grant impression. There's no...
A metre out from the line. Edwards sends it back for Cleary. Cleary in midfield. Crichton angling back in, but very flat-footed. And that's the 5th and last. 10 metres out, right in front of the posts.
Pull your pants up.
Robson to Cleary. They're going to run it here. Luai with the short ball for Crichton. Crichton goes through a gap and he's tackled. A try-saver, half a metre out from the line. What great goal on defence from Queensland. The no-look short ball from Luai to Crichton. He's beaten the tackle of Toya, but just did enough to drop him. And the Hammer comes in over the top and finishes the job. Now, this is how, if New South Wales started the match with this sort of intensity, we might have actually gone into the break at 0-0.
Or, with some points.
Are they going to keep it up for longer than 10 minutes?
Yeah, hard to say. Shibasaki down the short side. Brings it out to the 30. Four tackles
Get up,
gone.
ball.
Liero spins away from one, but he's brought down 40 out from their own line here, Queensland. Dearden sends it down the middle. And To'o takes it about 10 in from touch, 10 metres out from his own line. New South Wales, they've had opportunities early here in the second half.
Well, Watson's about to come on.
Connor Watson
Crazy.
about to enter the fray, yes.
Wait, was that right the first time?
As Latrell angling back into midfield. What did you say the first time?
Watson.
And a penalty here for New South Wales. A nice little piggyback upfield.
I said Connor Watson and then I changed it to Connor Tracy.
Yeah, Connor Watson.
Who the hell's Connor Tracy?
Plays for the Bulldogs, fullback.
Yeah, well, he's not playing. So
No.
we'll just forget him.
He's
Connor
not playing.
Watson.
40 metres out from the line off the back of that penalty. They needed a little bit more distance at that touch finder as Peyton the Haas. Another good, strong carry. 9 minutes gone in the second half. Still no change to the score. Yo. To
Yeah, well, we're going to need to
Spencer
change this
Lenu.
quickly. If you'd like to make any sort of comeback in New South Wales, just
Cleary steps back into midfield. He's got Yo with him. 20 metres out on play 3.
super quiet so far.
Robson, surely they were not square at marker there. Inside ball for Crichton. A lot of sideways running, a lot of angled running, not a lot of go forward. Harry Grant just crowding the play the ball area. That is surely a set restart. Martin pops it back in field for Edwards, who loses it. And Queensland come away 0 tackle. And execution again, letting them down.
Grant just dancing around in front of the play the ball. Just, I'm just going to play around here in the ruck like it's my sandpit.
I don't really know how that wasn't a 6 again, but once again, you've got to play to the whistle. Or, in this instance, the bell.
Unfortunately, every time Queensland bitch, they get a whistle.
But Asuamalawe brings it outside the 20. Tackle 3. 10 minutes gone in this second half. Here's Collins. Collins taken down just outside the 30. 2 more tackles left in this set. Munster calling for it, but it goes short for Asuamalawe. Carries it outside the 40. Still standing in the tackle. 5th and last. Dearden in midfield. Slightly skews this one off the side of the boot, but still a solid purchase. And To'o will return it just shy of the 30-metre line. A decent field position here, all things considering.
All things considering, we should have had a try off of the back of the penalty right now because Harry Grant's a wanker.
Edwards goes out the back for Lomax, puts the fend on Munster, puts the fend on Grant, takes on Cotter. Cotter brings him down.
Lomax, darling.
Luai, scoops it up from dummy half. Inside ball for Latrell. Fires it over into midfield. For Yo. To the right edge they go. Crichton steps away from the tackle, but he's wrapped up by Shibasaki. Tackle 4. Stephen Crichton's been kept very quiet tonight. Edwards receives the offload from Cleary. Tosses it back for Payne and the Haas. Flat-footed. 5th and last on halfway. Luai down the short side. Puts the kick up. It's not contestable. It's right down the middle to the Hammer, and the Hammer's got a lot of space, but he gives it off to Coates. And Xavier Coates returns it outside the 20. And that was an easy pick defusal for Queensland.
Please remind me again why I watched this.
Holmes
Queensland is still
taken
at
down by
100%
Latrell.
completion.
Grant scoots out a dummy half, and he's got Munster running with him. Munster's tackled on halfway.
Take his stupid head off.
2 tackles left. Dearden to the
Take his
line.
stupid head off.
5th and last. They're 40 metres out here. Munster in midfield sends this one high. A contestable ball. This has been the difference in the kicking. Edwards does well to take it, though, running forwards. Queensland are putting kick pressure on New South Wales. It's not happening down the other end as Lomax is tackled just outside the 20. Sweet Pea on TikTok says if Zach Lomax ain't going to do anything, I'm going to send him away.
Wait, did you? I thought you said we got banned on TikTok.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like a. It was it was a suspension to like check on us to make sure we're okay.
Oh well, I'm fine.
It was only like a 10-minute one. Perfectly coincided with the halftime break. As Cleary puts this one high, that's a better kick. Contact has been cleared. It sets up for Connor Watson, though. Still fifth and last. Watson heads back into midfield. Here's Luai. Got Latrell Mitchell in a little bit of space. The flick pass for To'o. To'o flicks it back in field. And it's dived on by Queensland as they're tackled back into their own end goal. Goal line dropout incoming, but the scrambling defence of Queensland. 26 and a half minutes remaining. Latrell with the flick pass, and To'o surely is over there, but Dearden, he does well to stay in the field of play there, To'o. But Tom Dearden with a try saver. I'll be back hopefully before the dropout.
Ball back while he was in the air. Good Lord. Try not to put a hole through the wall right now. All right, talk, lads. Talk.
Oh, did I just see a 6 again? A 6 again for New South Wales.
Dan.
Went 15 metres out from the line in midfield. Cleary on the right. Drops it inside for Yo.
So he can commentate.
Yo with a scrappy play the ball, but they get the penalty for ruck interference.
I can't rage, heel fries. I'm too numb.
Take the 2.
I'm too numb, heel fries. There's no rage left.
They tap and go. Here's Payne in the Haas, taking them on up the middle. 2 metres out. Watson, slow play the ball. They're up quickly here. Queenslanders, Luai changes direction. Back to the right they go. Edwards receives the inside ball. 25 minutes left. 20 points to 0. Still Cleary onto Luai. Mitchell taps it off for To'o. To'o steps back in field. Tries to power his way over the line. But he's taken half a metre out. Again, scrambling defence from Queensland. Impressive on their own goal line. Luai pops it up off the ground for Cleary. Numbers to the right. Crichton in space. He's got Lomax running with him, but Crichton goes on his own. Stephen Crichton scores. Boy, did they have to do some work. They had to fight tooth and nail for that try. Stephen Crichton gets over in the corner.
I really shouldn't have been that hard.
Unbelievable. Stephen Crichton wasn't taking any chances with Zach Lomax. He said, I will do it on my own.
All Crichton had to do was do a quick little pivot, and he was beating 6 of them inside to score under the post. I know it sounds easy when you watch it back, blah, 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 whatever, but that's all he had to do. Oh my God, Lomax, you better kick this. No pressure.
The try is confirmed. It is out wide. Right on the touchline. 23 and a half minutes to go.
I love it.
Stephen Crichton was not taking any chances there. All right, here we go. This is the big moment. Zach Lomax from the sideline. 2 from 5 in Origin 2.
I can't watch.
Can he put it over? He hasn't gone back very far. This is a rough angle, I would have thought. Lomax moves in. It's hooking back. It's hooking back. It's through the posts. Lomax from the sideline has kicked the conversion. It's 20 points to 6. Someone's been practicing.
You have to give this Queensland defence some credit, don't you?
Oh, the defence, like, honestly, the Queensland's goal line defence has been immaculate. Immaculate. The scrambling, like, there were quite a few times there that New South Wales should have scored, but for the scrambling of Queensland, the desperation on their own goal line.
Yay, we're on the board.
20 points to 6, 23 minutes left to go. A much needed try, to state the obvious, for New South Wales.
Oh.
As we've got a little, geez, Laurie Daley doesn't look happy.
Well, would you? I'm not happy. Would you have a 14 points?
That is the look of a man who knows his job's done. Thanks for coming, Laurie. As To'o takes the To'o with the hit up from the kickoff. How about that? Brian To'o taking the hit up from the kickoff. Flatbush P64 says New South Wales has so many kickers. As Big Papa's out for his second spell. Pain in the Haas with the hit up on tackle 3. 25 out from their own line. He's lost his pants there, Pain in the Haas.
When?
Big Papa out there again. As for Asuamalawe slips, and that almost opens up a gap. Fifth and last, Cleary steps outside the 40 to put this one high. And again, it's a little too heavy to be contestable, and it's an easy take at the back for the Hammer. And they bring him to ground and now drag him backwards. Very lucky to not give away a penalty there. New South Wales.
Bitching Munster.
30 metres out from the line. Queensland will play it.
Ball.
Tackle
There's a
2.
heatwave in Sydney tonight, and it's emanating from
Shibasaki angles back in towards the play the ball area. 21 and a half remaining. 20 points to 6. Manuel Snow, ahoy, mate. Welcome back. Sonia Jana says, yeah, go Blues. As for Asuo Malawi, up to halfway. Fifth and last. Staying down the short side here for Munster. Gets the kick away. And again, the difference in the kicks. There's more kick pressure on Edwards, but he does well to take it. Hammer wraps him up.
You know what, Dan?
Lomax in midfield. Oh, what?
I'd risk a 6-week suspension to pop a forearm to Munster's chops.
20 out from their own line, and New South Wales have spilt the ball, but it'll be a penalty. Queensland were offside.
I like how you just completely ignore that. Just a straight forearm.
This will be a nice little piggyback upfield for them, and again, just that ruck interference.
Yeah, again.
They're just hanging around the play the ball area.
It wasn't penalised before from Harry Grant, but
And that is a much better touch finder up over halfway as New South Wales tap and go. 20 minutes left to go. Boy, a try here would make it interesting. A try here would make the game very interesting indeed as Isaiah Yeo carries 3 with him. 30 metres out from the line. Watson, dummies left, goes short side for Cleary. Out the back for Edwards. Edwards well wrapped up. Shibasaki it is, making the tackle. Shibasaki, he's been brilliant defensively tonight. I mean, that was his role. That was his job. Come in and do the job on defence. As Payne and the Haas tackled in midfield. 2 left here for New South Wales. They stay on the short side for Luai. Goes out the back for Latrell. Latrell, half a metre out. The goal line as he's swung over into touch. And it's a... Well, they're going to let him play the ball.
good.
Fifth and last. Luai. Grubbers in behind the line. The Hammer bats it dead. He probably didn't really need to, but he did. And it'll be a goal line dropout.
I don't think the Hammer needed to do that. I think there was a little bit of a brain snap on his part, but whatever.
Latrell Mitchell taking the line on. Oh, Latrell rolled on his own there. Cheeky Latrell trying to milk a penalty. Ashley Klein wasn't falling for it. Queensland
Sorry.
send the restart deep. New South Wales let it bounce. It sits up nicely for Luai. And who's he got running with him? He's got Isaiah Yeo. Taken by Fa'asu Malawi and Papali'i. 40 out from the line. 18 and a half minutes remaining. Pain in the Haas. Another good strong carry from him. 30 out from the line in midfield. Cleary out the back to Edwards. Numbers here to the right. Oh, what a tackle. Who made that? Shibasaki. Shibasaki again. This is why he's in the team. And he is tackling his little goateed heart out tonight, is Shibasaki. As Watson receives the offload. Runs out of options right. Runs out of options left. Straightens. Tackle 20 metres out on play 4. Here's Cleary now. Steps back in field. And he's cut in half by Harry Grant. 5th and last. The grubber trying to get it in behind the line was Hudson Young. Spills it out the back. Toto dives on it, and that'll be a handover. Oh, no, he fends away. Keeps the ball alive. It's still 5th and last, Brian. He's taken high. Loses his headgear. And somehow this is not a penalty. Toto. Brian Toho has literally had his headgear knocked off his head. And there is no call of high tackle. Tensions are boiling over in midfield.
Unbelievable.
They've captains challenged a call. They have captains challenged this call, New South Wales, I do believe.
Yeah, well.
And this should be coming back for a penalty at the very least.
So you bloody well should. You got your headgear taken off. If that's not high, I don't know what is, Ashley Klein. Should we take off your stupid
It was
head?
right in front of Ashley Klein as well. Toto still hasn't put his headgear back on. Do you reckon that's for dramatic effect? He hasn't put the headgear back on.
Do it.
Okay, Hudson Young puts the kick through, and now Cotter is clearly played at that.
He is.
Oh, it's not played at. Okay. The bunker says not played at. That seems
Oh,
pretty
we've got
clearly played at to me.
Ashley Klein.
Hudson Young loses it backwards at that point.
Unbelievable.
Oh, Hudson Young loses it forward. Okay.
Believable, because they want
All right.
Queensland to win.
The bunker
New
is.
South Wales can't win 2 in a row.
The bunker has seen both of those calls vastly differently than I saw them.
And not even looking at the head high on Toto.
There it is. Valentine Holmes around the chin, the chinny chin, and knocks his headgear off.
Oh my god. I'll piss off, Papali, you douchebag.
As 20 metres out from the line, Queensland in possession. We won't even go through to the penalty because the first infringement, or the first infringement was the knock on. 17 minutes to go. Time is well and truly skipping away from New South Wales now.
Aim for the head, because clearly they're not calling it.
Cotter on the short ball. Tackle just short of halfway. Tackle 4.
It's not 8 in a row incoming. I will literally burn.
Fa'asu Malawi backs over halfway. Taken down 5th and last.
Queensland.
Dearden's down the short side. Puts this ball high. Easy take at the back for Edwards. And Edwards winds up. A wall of Queensland defence there to greet him. 15 metres out from their own line here, the Blues. Lomax with the carry. The forwards will obviously be very slow to get back here.
There's no chill, mate.
Crichton
There's
down
no
the short
chill.
side. Charges into the 3-man tackle.
If you're new to this channel and Origin with me, there's
Yo goes out the back for Cleary and Luai. Mitchell pops it on for Toto. Toto's down the left flank in open space. Dearden races across. He bumps him off. Comes back at him. Dearden brings him down 30 metres out from the line on play 4. Loose pass into midfield. Cleary fires the cutout pass over for Crichton, who kicks on play 4. Needs it to sit up in the end goal. And it does. Xavier Coates gets away and back into the field of play. Brilliant work from Xavier Coates.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen you do, Crichton. Come on.
Xavier Coates running it back into the field of play, but big defence from Liam Martin here. 15 and a half remaining.
Oh, we're so cooked. We are so cooked.
Oh, yeah, time's up. They're out of time now for a miracle comeback. All they can really do, you would think, is make it respectable. As Cotter, I believe it is here, taking it up to halfway for Queensland, fifth and last. Dearden steps outside the 40. It's a low flat kick. He's looking for the 40-20, Dearden. It sits up just inside the line. And Edwards returns it to the 20. 15 minutes left to play. 20 points to 6.
Queensland are allowed to win 8 in a row.
Lomax, tackle just short of the 30. Cleary on the right-hand side, steps back into midfield, takes the line on Nathan Cleary. Up to the 40 on play 3. Staying on the short side, Liam Martin. A good, strong carry up to the halfway mark. Slow play the ball again.
Dickhead.
Yo in midfield. Goes out the back for Cleary. Luai, the no-look pass. Short to Angus Crichton. That's the fifth and last. Down the short side for Luai to put it high. A contestable kick into midfield. It's Hammer who loses it forward. Oh, no, he doesn't. It was batted back by New South Wales. And straight into the arms of Harry Grant.
Of course it
Queensland
was.
ball 20 metres out from their own line.
Hammer had absolutely nothing on that. It was all New South Wales.
14 minutes to go.
Look at that. It's just going to be New South Wales.
Boats down the short side. Brings it out to the 30. Munster goes inside once, goes inside this time for Collins. And with 13 and a half to go, 14 points the difference. Fifth and last on halfway. Munster down the short side, puts this one high. Edwards backing up for it, takes it on the 10. And a wall of Queensland defenders again there to greet him. The kick chase. Just been consistent all night long. New South Wales have been given no room off the kick chases. 30 metres out from their own line here. New South Wales looking very flat-footed now. Crichton, Angus Crichton that is, heading back infield. On play 3. Watson onto Lenu. Lenu with a good strong carry. Beats the first tackles, but he slips. Gets up and goes again. He's just inside Queensland territory on play 4. Yo to Edwards. Cut out pass for Lomax. Lomax gets on the outside of Coates, but doesn't commit to the play and loses the ball. A Shibasaki. Shibasaki. What a debut. He's there on defense again, forcing the turnover on Zach Lomax. I mean, is this one of the best debuts we've seen in State of Origin history? Shibasaki. He hasn't scored a try, but by God, he has been absolutely everywhere defensively.
I like Shibasaki because he's a Bronco. Yes, contradictory for people who are just introducing themselves to us. And
now they've got space on the right edge. Robert Toya, flick pass back, looking for Val Holmes. Holmes had cut back inside, though. And To'o picks it up. All right. Their first mistake all game. Queensland's first incomplete set of the match with 11 and a half minutes to go. That is insane how good they've been tonight.
Yay. Wankers.
Cleary with the short ball for Hudson Young. Gets the offload back to nobody. Pass pops it up to Luai. Luai gets away from 2. Gets it to Yo. Keeping the ball alive. It's touch footy stuff at the moment from New South Wales, but they're going backwards. They lost a lot of yardage on that play. Tackle 4 now. Stephen Crichton up over halfway. Yo to Luai. Goes out the back for Edwards. Now they've got good shape to the left. Latrell taps it on for To'o, and it's called a forward pass. Forward pass, and it's Queensland ball. New South Wales, well, yes, it's clearly forward. New South Wales have ballsed up another decider. It's as simple as that. Queensland have been dominant. I can't believe State of Origin, grand finals, any big occasion. 11 and a half minutes remaining for Queensland to have come up with their first error. And it wasn't even really an error in that sense. It was a loose pass. It's not like it was a forward pass or a knock on. So it wasn't an error in that sense. But it was their first incomplete set. Like almost 70 minutes into a game. Like that's unreal. Absolutely unbelievable. As the Hammer now gives the inside ball for Toya. And Toya plays it 40 meters out from the line. Dearden to Collins. Tackle 4, 30 out. Dearden goes out the back for Munster. Short ball for Capewell. 5th and last, 20 meters out. Oops, slow play the ball here. Capewell staying down. Oh, because he's busted open. There is blood gushing out of the mouth of Kurt Capewell. Oh, there is blood gushing out. Curtis Capewell. Flatbush, P64. Says Blues trying too hard. It's not too late to go back to basics. It's not over until it's over. I reckon Flatbush should be the New South Wales coach next year because that's the sort of motivational stuff that they need right now as this kick is taken by Luai half a metre out from his own try line. New South Wales, with 9 minutes to go, trailing by 14, have to go the length of the field. Ezekiel Nisbet says, no, keep the same coach. Must be Ezekiel must be a Queensland supporter. Oh, this is huge defence now, driving New South Wales back. They know that they've got this one. Cleary onto Luai. Out the back for Mitchell. Here they go again. They've had success down this left edge, New South Wales. But this time, Mitchell goes into contact on his own. Cleary puts the ball high on tackle 4. Spiraling kick. And oh, what a take from the Hammer. And the Hammer busts them open up the middle. Try-saving tackle from Latrell Mitchell. Set restart for Queensland. The Hammer would have been in under the sticks. Mitchell's down in back play as Queensland get the 6 again. Kurt Mann's on the field. 20 metres out from the line. Mitchell is out of the defensive line. Dearden goes out the back for Munster. Short ball. Capewell on the charge. 15 out from the line. 7 minutes to go. Munster gives it off to Lindsay Collins. 10 metres out, right in front of the post. Grant scoops it up. Goes left for Munster to the Hammer, who dummies. Takes the line on. 5th and last. Munster now. Grubbers in behind the line. Deflects off New South Wales, and it sets up for Kurt Mann for 6 more tackles. Deemed to be played at as Munster spins away from Latrell. Latrell holds on. 7 minutes left to play. Queensland looking for another. Dearden heads across to the left. Harry Grant standing out there on the edge. And here is Shibasaki. Gets away from Stephen Crichton. The flick pass out for Coates, who comes back in field. 10 out from the line. Dearden to Liero in midfield on play 3. New South Wales holding on for dear life here. Dearden dummies and scoots through for a double. Tom Dearden gets 2. And that, if it wasn't over already, it is now. Queensland and deciders. They just keep getting it done. They just keep getting the job done. Tom Dearden with a double. Jeez, Tom Dearden might be in the equation for player of the match. Controlling the game from halfback. Scores a double. Man of the match worthy.
Now I have to ask a question.
Yes.
How did the Broncos let him go?
Oh, the Broncos have got terrible. The Broncos retention committee, whatever you call it, are up there with the Sharks in terms of how bad they are. There are so many Sharks juniors tearing up the competition for other teams at the moment, and same for the Broncos. 24 points to 6. 5 minutes to go. Queensland. Boom burner, says Laurie Daley, was a mistake. Warriors, ahoy, mate. Warriors says ahoy. Thank you for the live.
We have to point out, though, I suppose, that it's the players out there that aren't defending very well, isn't it?
Well, yeah, not even defense. Oh, his home slips as he misses. Is that his first miss all series? And he slips on his bum as he strikes that conversion. And away to the left it goes. 24 points to 6. Thank you very much for the GG on TikTok. That is Mac. Mac who has sent that one through. And also this name is just an emoji. And I think it is the emoji of a bat. I could be wrong about that, but they've sent through a rose. Thank you very much for those gifts on TikTok. As Latrell goes short with the restart, and it's they didn't even compete for it. They did not even contest the short restart, New South Wales. Easy take for Queensland, and Shibasaki has the ball ripped away by Hudson Young. 4.5 minutes to go. And New South Wales are back in possession. Queensland up very quickly there in defence, and that'll be a set restart. Up way too quickly. I can't believe that you go short with the restart and don't compete for the ball. As Luai goes out the back for Mitchell. Mitchell to To'o, who spills it, and Val Holmes is away. Taken down by Luai, who gets the covering tackle in. Oh, we thought the Valdust was over under the sticks as Luai limps back into position. 4 minutes left. It was a 0 tackle for Queensland, so this is now tackle 2. Munster in midfield. 24 points to 6. You didn't put your tips in for this game.
What's that mean?
Well, usually by default you get the away team, so that means you won this one.
Well, I would have picked Queensland.
Yeah. Well, I tipped New South Wales because I have to tip New South Wales, but I did say at the start I thought Queensland were going to win. Yeah. I thought Queensland was going to win in Golden Point, though, not an absolute domination, as Munster with the low flat kick into touch. With 3 minutes left to play, they're not really interested in any more points, it seems. They're just going to control the flow of this game now for the final 3 and keep New South Wales pinned down here. So, yeah, I did say at the top of the stream, I thought Queensland would win in Golden Point. I did not expect this level of annihilation. As Luai, dummies. Taken down by Trent Liero. Jace, ahoy, mate. How are you doing? As Watson up over halfway. He's got Cleary running with him. Cleary brought down by Harry Grant. Let's see if I'm saying this name correctly. Moti Bomb. Thanks for the live watching from Utong, Papua New Guinea / Indonesia border. As Queensland are back in possession here, just short of halfway. Jeremiah Nanai. Munster in midfield. Goes it inside. Can't get on the outside of Hudson Young, who swings him down. 2 minutes left. Capewell up over halfway. Slow play the ball. Liero in midfield. Goes out the back for Dearden. And now Holmes goes straight through. Holmes has got, penalty. Obstruction penalty as Val Holmes is waving to the crowd. He doesn't realise that the penalty's been blown. And they will captain's challenge, but I don't think the try can stand on the back of this challenge, regardless. But Valentine Holmes, he was waving to the crowd. He was showboating. He thought he was over. But they've come back for the obstruction call here on Jeremiah Nanai, I believe, who is the lead runner and goes straight into Latrell Mitchell. Well, in fairness, Latrell sort of, well, it is obstruction. I'm not denying that. Inside shoulder, that's pretty much it. But Val Holmes, he'll want that moment over again, I'm sure. Penalty here for New South Wales. 1.5 minutes to go. They find touch 35 metres out from the line. Luai onto Payne and the Huss. 30 out. Watson onto Yo. 20 from the line. 1 minute left. Cleary goes out the back for Luai. The no-look pass to Angus Crichton, who pops it back for Luai. Out to Mitchell. Mitchell with the in and away, but Toya brings him down. 10 metres out. Luai into midfield for Cleary. The cutout pass for Yo. Goes around the back for Lenu. Flat-footed and going backwards here, New South Wales. The Queensland goal line defence again. It is a brick wall on that Queensland try line as Watson goes left for Luai. Grubber kick in behind. Is going to sit up for To'o to score. Brian To'o scores. It's a tick off the multi. Oh, wait, it's not been awarded yet. It's not been awarded yet. I don't think. They're going to have a look. But at the moment, Brian To'o has scored. And we get our first tick off the multi. Finally. Ha 24 points to 10. Kick to come from out wide. Kurt reckons maybe the other three will score for my multi in the next 30 seconds. As Lomax from the sideline puts it over. 24 points to 12. And that will be full time. 24 points to 12. Queensland, too good. I'm going to have a quick break. And I'll be right back to wrap up all the action. Old Panther, are you taking this opportunity to skip out or?
Yeah, I'll probably go. There's not much to say about it except the Queensland defence was too good, wasn't it? You know, the Tom Dearden had so much room to move, and the backs had so much room because the New South Wales defence just wasn't there. So you have to give credit to Queensland, and much as I hate to say it, they were the better team on the night. Well, I'm tipping Tom Dearden as the man of the match. And really, we can't complain about the referee, so there won't be too much talk about that, I don't think.
Tom Dearden, man of the match for mine, hands down. Special mention to Shibasaki. I thought Shibasaki was brought into the team to play a role, and that was defensively to keep Stephen Crichton quiet. Now, Stephen Crichton did get a try, but that was not anything to do with Shibasaki's poor work at all. Shibasaki, I think, dominated defensively Stephen Crichton tonight, kept him extremely quiet. Didn't give him any space at all. Made his tackles, forced that mistake on Zach Lomax when New South Wales was still in the game. I mean, geez, honestly, for me, one of the best Origin debuts that I can remember. Shibasaki. I mean, it wasn't anything like. There's not going to be a lot for the highlights reel in the highlight sense, but he did everything that he was brought into the team to do, and he did it with 100% perfection. And that is the sort of stuff that I notice. I don't notice the highlight reels. I notice the hard work that the players are putting in around the park, and I don't think he missed one tackle all night. So surely Tom Dearden gets man of the match. I mean, a double, kicked the bollocks off the ball all night long. And Queensland's completion rate, I mean, 70 minutes. It essentially took 70 minutes into the contest before they made their first mistake. 100% completion rate up until that point. That is just insanity. That's craziness. And their goal line defense, as the old Panther already mentioned, crazy. It was just an unbelievable performance.
And you have
quite
to
simply.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
You have to give some credit to that other young fellow. He was very solid, that young Papaluli, wasn't he?
Oh, young Papa. Yeah, big Papa.
Yeah, he was very solid.
That young stud, Papali'i. 24 points to 12. I wonder if Michelle's coming back for a post-game banter. Well, old Panther's got to head home. He's got to drive home. So I will have a quick break to see him off, and then I'll be back for the post-game chat here on the Wasted World of Sports. Thanks for being with us live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch.
Yep. Good night, everyone.
And yeah, I'll be back shortly for all the post-game. All right. Oh, Wasted Water Sports crew. There we go. This one has come to a conclusion. Another decider dominated by Queensland. 24 points to 12. The goal line defense, impressive. Tom Dearden, man of the match for mine. Special shout out to Shibasaki. They played brilliantly. I don't think Michelle's coming back, so we won't be getting any. We won't be getting any word from Michelle at the end here. Thank you so much for joining us here for this one, Wasted Water Sports. We will catch you guys next time. Next time will be Friday night. Friday night, Sharks versus the Dolphins. Thank you so much for being with us. Very much appreciate your company as always. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, thank you so much. Wherever you have joined us from. Queensland, simply too good. I mean, like I said, 70 minutes. 70 minutes into the game before they made their first incomplete set. It was an incredible performance. One of the best Origin performances I've seen. I think we have to hark back to Fatty's Neville's. Fatty's Neville's was probably the most one of the most passionate, artful performances I remember seeing comparative to this one. Okay, Wasted Water Sports, thank you so much. I've got some work to do tonight. Lucky me, huh? I've got to go start work. Thank you so much once again. I will see you guys Friday. Cheers.